Alright, so this is kind of like a follow-up video from the other video, but this is more like, it's kind of separate, but it's still kind of like a follow-up video because it's kind of relating to like contract and those stuff. So with contracts are like when you're renting an apartment and stuff like that, always make sure you read your contract word for word, sentence for sentence, paragraph for paragraph, page by page by page. Pay close attention to literally every single word on that paper and diagram, whatever it is. Pay close attention to it, take your time, go through it and stuff like that. If you don't understand it, make sure to ask your landlord whatever question you have or you want to know. Ask them whatever it is that you'd like to know, because you don't want to reach into a situation where they tell you that it was in the contract, yada 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 and stuff like that. So make sure you read your contract, because it's very important. And and as much as I'm saying it right now, and it kind of sounds stupid because it should be common sense, a lot of persons do not do it. And a lot of persons, sometimes they read the contract when they're just moving in, and you tend to forget a whole lot of stuff that's within that contract while living there. So make it a point of duty to update yourself on every now and then. Just go read over your contract. Trust me, it will help you. Every now and then, go read over your contract and make sure that you're just doing what you're supposed to do, because you don't want to mess your security deposit up. So make sure every now and then you read through your contract and go from there, because it's a lot of stuff sometimes and you're not always going to remember stuff. So try to like give yourself a monthly reminder or something. Use your phone. A lot of us have smartphones. Set a reminder where, you know, every 2 months you get a reminder or something that says read over contract, just to be safe. Now the next thing is, when you are getting your apartment and like when you get your apartment and stuff like that, record. Make sure you take the tour and record everything before you move your furniture and all that type of stuff in. After you do that, make sure you point out to your landlord every single, you know, so if you see like a broken door handle or maybe paint scratched off the walls, a ripped carpet or a stain, anything that you know that can cause them to blame you for it after you've stayed there and you're ready to move out, make sure you inform them before you move in, because you don't want to mess yourself up like that. The next thing, very important, make sure you check your smoke detectors. Make sure you check all the smoke detectors, make sure they are working. And normally in some cases you are the one who's, depending on the type of smoke detector, you're the one that's like responsible to change it. So make sure you do that, make sure you change it and stuff like that. Make sure you also, a lot of persons, because sometimes smoke detectors can be annoying, to be honest with you, especially when in the winter, when like your house is all closed up, the smallest thing you can sometimes cause your smoke detector to go off, and it's just so annoying when you're trying to turn it off. It keeps coming back on because obviously the air is not clear. A lot of persons tend to turn it off or unhook it or stuff like that. That's kind of like illegal to do, because you know what I'm saying. So if you take it down or you turn it off or something of the sort, just make sure to put it back how it was ASAP, because if something should ever happen and, you know, after they do checks and all that kind of stuff and it was your fault that, you know, let's say there's a fire in your apartment and no alarm went off, you are actually putting everyone else that's around your apartment at risk as well, and you can get in big trouble for that. So don't tamper with those type of stuff. So check and make sure it's working for your own safety and others around you. Your fire extinguisher, I believe that every apartment should have a fire extinguisher. So make sure your apartment have one. Make sure it's not expired, because it sometimes you do have some messed up, trust me, you have some of those sneaky people who will do some of that stuff. So make sure you check that and make sure it's not expired. Also, make sure you know how to use one, and the persons who are living with you, make sure they know how to use one, because that's the next thing. I don't know if they do that with apartments, but I feel like if I was a landlord, or I should go into real estate, which I would like to do, I would make sure that whenever my tenants are like moving in, I would do like a fire class or something where I have someone come in and pretty much brief them on safety, teach them about the smoke detectors, make sure they know how to change the battery, when to change it, make sure they know how to like use a fire extinguisher, what to do in case of a fire and stuff like that. I know a lot of persons might learn that outside, but I would still, as a landlord, do stuff like that, especially if you are going to be renting your apartment to like young adults. Sometimes, I'm not just saying that young adults are like not responsible, but sometimes they just don't think. We make mistakes, we mess up a lot of times. So I would say if I was a landlord, that's the type of thing I would do. I would make sure that I brief them and, you know, make sure they know like the steps to take for emergency. Make sure that you know where the emergency exits are in your apartment and stuff like that. Don't block any emergency exits. Always make sure that it's free and clear, so in case of an emergency you can, you know, get out on time. So make sure you don't block any of that stuff. So those are some of the things that, you know, I'm not like I'm not a landlord, I'm not an advisor or whatever it is. These are just my personal tips and stuff that I feel like I would do if I was a landlord, and stuff that I do as a tenant, just to make sure I'm on the safe side and don't get screwed over by simply not reading the contract and paying attention to the simple stuff, as people would say, the fine print with certain stuff. Yeah, make sure you read it. So make sure, there's probably more stuff I could share, but I don't want this video to be like too long. But yeah, that's kind of like my, you know, small tips for, you know, moving into an apartment and safety wise. That, make sure you do those checks, and also you can go on Google and stuff like that and get better advice and more tips and stuff like that. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. I hope that probably, you know, alert someone to go read their contract again, or to make sure you know, pay attention to certain little stuff when in your apartment and stuff like that. Make sure you guys do that.